Hi, this is just a quick little project update video for the Mini Goblin. In this video, I just want to cover a few different things. There's the Goblin Wizard, the website, the shipping and budget, the business, and future ideas. Okay, number one, let's start off with the Mini Goblin Wizard. A lot of people have asked me, Andrew, how do I define my synthesizer for the Mini Goblin? I had made a video on this in the past, but it's no longer, up to date. The new process is a lot easier. I made a program called Mini Goblin Wizard. This program is really simple. You basically just name your synth, list your parameters, press a button, it makes a folder, you drag the folder on the micro SD card, and you're done. When it comes to actually putting the stuff on the micro SD card, you do have to remove it from the Mini Goblin and plug it into your computer using a dongle or an adapter. Unfortunately, you can't really transfer files over the USB port. I did investigate how to transfer files via Wi-Fi. It is possible, but the overhead for it is too much. I want to keep the program memory down to about 50%, and it would bring things up to like 80%. I also investigated making my own little USB serial protocol for transferring files over USB to the Goblin Wizard, but that's a pretty complicated project, and I've got my hands full right now, so I'm not pursuing that right now. With that out of the way, let's move on to the Mini Goblin website. Some of you may have noticed the website has received a little bit of a facelift. The previous version was pretty janky looking. I'm way happier with the layout now. I think if I had that layout in the past, I probably would have pre-sold a lot more units, but whatever. Hindsight's 2020. A lot of it's under construction right now. It wouldn't make any sense to publish that stuff yet. I mean, it might out of curiosity, but there might be some changes in between now and when these things ship. So just to keep things simple, I've left a lot of the pages under construction. That brings us to our next subject, the shipping and budget. If you saw my previous update, I mentioned that I priced things way too low when it came to the Kickstarter prices. The backer kit prices are evening things out still. If I sell a couple dozen more units there, I'll probably break even. Now you might be thinking, Andrew, how the hell did you blow that much money trying to make this stupid thing? Well, I blew a lot more money making the original prototype, my own money, for months and months and months. I went through many different prototypes. I experimented with making my own enclosures using 3D printers. I wasted months on that. I spent a lot of money, my own money, just getting to the beginning of the Kickstarter. What you're seeing is much better than what was originally on the Kickstarter. So many improvements have been made. So if you're wondering how I spent that additional money trying to make things, make this, it's because I made it a lot better. This is a much better device than what was initially, advertised on Kickstarter. Now, with that being said, it did take longer than I thought it would. I went through a few prototypes that didn't work after the Kickstarter finished. That includes prototyping the PCB, as well as, coming up with a better screen and just spending a lot of time programming. To be fair, I did estimate the project would only take 5 months, which is a pretty short amount of time considering how complicated this thing is. But in the end, it took longer than I was hoping and cost more money than I was hoping as well. If I didn't make any improvements, I probably could have made off like a bandit. So this isn't all bad news for you guys. For me, it sucks. So basically where things are right now, I am a little bit short when it comes to actually paying for the shipping. I'm actually up to my eyeballs in Mini Goblin parts right now. I'm still waiting on the encoders and micro SD cards. Adding the encoders is actually a relatively simple process, might only take a couple days. The big part really is just paying for the shipping. I unfortunately had to dip into the shipping funds to get all the parts for the Mini Goblin. Had I priced things at $125 a pop from the get-go, I probably wouldn't have this problem. If this was 10 months ago and I didn't waste all my savings on making the Mini Goblin, I would just pay for this all without even batting an eye. But I spent a lot of my own money already, and selling my e-bike to pay for this shipping seems like it might be a financially unwise decision, as well as kind of heartbreaking. A lot of you are aware that I worked as an illustrator and graphic designer in the past. Also did layout design for Zokia Planet Ruby. I drew a lot of the backgrounds for that show. But the animation industry and graphic design right now, it's just it's pretty rough out there. I haven't been able to find work for quite some time. And right now, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm working at Dollarama. Now, there's nothing wrong with working there. It's a perfectly fine job. You'd be hoping somebody with my skills would be able to find work somewhere else, but it just hasn't been the case right now. that'll get better in the future. But right now I'm being faced with this decision. I can trickle out the MIDI Goblin orders starting in early December, or I can wait until late January when I've saved up all the money required for shipping and send everything out at once. I'm still weighing the pros and cons of these. If you guys want to comment somewhere and just let me know what you think of what the best option would be, that'd be really helpful. It would definitely influence my decision making. But right now I just want to let you guys all know that, I'm making these things. They are coming. I'm being faced with a little bit of a financial problem in getting them to you, but it's going to happen. I put way too much time and effort into this to not let it happen. These things are awesome, and I can't wait till you guys get them. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Andrew, you don't know very much about business, and you're correct. I just want to mention that I'm taking part in a small business incubator program through Seneca College right now. They provide free mentoring and networking, as well as help people with grant applications. So who knows, maybe I'll get grants in the future or something. People seem to get grants for weird things. I've never got one in the past, so hopefully I can do that. And finally, the last thing I want to cover is the future. I am looking at MIDI Goblin as a business, not just a small project. Now you might remember I mentioned earlier in this video I want to keep the program memory down to about 50%. The reason for this is that I have a few different ideas for the future. I'm not going to work on them right now. Right now I'm just working on the MIDI Goblins themselves, but sometime next year I do plan on working on these things. Anyways, I just want to let you guys know I have a few ideas for this in the future. I'm still really invested in this project emotionally and, financially. Please do let me know what you think I should be doing when it comes to the shipping. Should I start trickling them out in December, or should I just wait until the end of January to ship them out to everybody? Your comments will influence my decision making. Either way, I'm going to be broke for a couple months. I really don't want to sell that e-bike though.